For every George Washington Carver, there's a Morris Ketchum Jessup. What's up, y'all? My name is Alfred Duncan, and I'm the founding member and CEO of Black Men Ventures. Our organization exists to help narrow the racial wealth gap through entrepreneurship. See, when George Washington Carver was teaching at Tuskegee, he invented a mobile classroom to take out to the farmers. He called his mobile classroom the Jessup Wagon, after the philanthropist who provided the financial backing for his project. Carver had the innovation, but Jessup had the wallet. In our inaugural Black Men Ventures Black Founders Pitch Competition in April, we were able to raise $36,000 to support 9 Black founders, and it was all because of your financial support. See, our founders had the innovation, and our BMV community, they had the wallets. Tonight, we're excited to present to you our 6 finalists of our second BMV Black Founders Pitch Competition. At BMV, we like to say that it takes a community to raise an entrepreneur. And if you're viewing this, then you're a part of the community I'm speaking of. Our 6 finalists will share with you their business plans as well as the problems that their products and services solve. Our expert panel of judges, or champions per se, will ask follow-up questions to give you more information on whom you would like to vote for. Now, here's where you come in. You can then cast your vote for the founder of your liking by voting with your dollars. You can go to Razorfy.co and create an account and cast your vote. It's that simple. But we know how some of you like the gaming system, and you'll try to vote like $1 at a time in order to boost your man up. Well, that can't happen here, because in order for your vote to count, you must donate a minimum of $5. We call it skin in the game. Now, the winner of this competition is based on the amount of votes and not the amount of money raised. See, the goal is to equip the community with the opportunity of funding a business that will service the community. Community-driven, community decision. It's now on you.
Before we get to the founders and their pitches, we want to take this moment to introduce the featured artist for our Spotlight segment, singer-songwriter Levi Stevens. Tell me about yourself, man. What should I know?
Well, local singer-songwriter, musician. Been playing and singing music in DC metro area. Grew up DC metro area, and been playing music now, I guess, for full time, at least for the last 15, 16 years almost now.
I've heard it all before, all the reasons why we can't seem to find what lies beyond divide.
So how'd you get started in the music? Like, where did that love first come together for you?
Just kind of in the household, growing up, listening to records, CDs and tapes or whatever. You looking at liner notes, you're seeing who wrote on it, who produced it, who played on it, and then you just get interested from there, and you just keep doing more and more research and finding out who produced what, who did what records certain artists were a part of that you may never have known unless you read the credits. And so, then my love for production and writing, I wanted to be a writer and producer. I didn't necessarily want to be an artist from the onset. So that came on the back end.
So who are some of your influences? Like, who are some of those people that influence the way you sound?
I guess, I've said this so many times in other interviews, but I guess it kind of sounds redundant because a lot of artists will probably say the same thing. But my penultimate favorite singer-songwriter musician was Stevie Wonder. And then from there, Prince, Hendrix, Ray Charles, Donny Hathaway, Marvin Gaye, Karen Carpenter, Shaka Khan. I mean, it's a lot. Simon and Garfunkel, James Taylor, Tracy Chapman. Like, it goes. It's a lot. It's a lot of artists.
That would be a dope record crate for that MPC you guys said.
And I got them all. I was listening to Prince all day yesterday. So,
and you're doing this for Black Men Ventures and our Black Founders Pitch Competition. What drew you to want to do this with us today?
Well, one, like I said, when Black reached out to me, I've seen a lot of stuff that he does just in the community and just, in terms of empowering young Black youth, and for me, it's a different kind of entrepreneurship, but it's the same thing. I invest in myself. And like you said, when we talk about production and songwriting, like I bought all my gear, like from my Pro Tools to my MPCs, keyboards. I mean, just it's a lot of gear, it's a lot of investing, and it's no different from investing in a food truck. It's the same kind of situation, or a business, whatever kind of business it is.
Thank you, Levi. Family, be sure to catch his performance later in the broadcast. Now, let's meet tonight's panel of champions.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm a finance professor. That's my profession, and I don't have any fun facts except for the fact that I play Call of Duty really well. And also, you know what? I just lied. I do not play really well. I play a lot. and in between playing Call of Duty, I also run the Black Business School, where we have a lot of students around the world that are learning economics and wealth. And we do things from a Black perspective. We're 100% Black, and we're very proud of that. So I'm glad to be a part of this.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Nasir Chris. Formerly, I was a co-operator at an insurtech startup based out of New York City. Since then, have been in the growth equity space as an investor, continue to look at early stage companies, Series A, specifically looking at how can we level the playing field and close the wealth gap for Black founders and scale the businesses in our community to make sure they're getting the capital they need. Fun fact about me, I was a spelling bee star before Zala. Back in third grade, I went to the National Spelling Bee. That was a long time ago, though, but that's it for me.
My name is Jonathan King. I am a business consultant and creative. I have created over 3 companies that raise over 6 figures, generate 6 figures in revenue. And I'm just a creative, man. I really love helping, connecting the dots for people. And that's really one of the big things for me. And I'm a founding board member of Black Men Ventures. So I'm so happy to be here. One fun fact about me, I don't know if it's a fun fact, but it's a great fact. I do have a 3-year-old daughter, and I am currently visiting family right now in the Hampton Roads area, and I am currently filming out of my niece's bedroom. So that's one fun fact about me, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Let's get things started with the first pitch of the evening.
Hey everybody, my name is Darcel Edwards. I'm the founder and CEO of Blink Social, where we focus on linking you to Black freelancers while providing a world of opportunities. When I graduated from Howard University, like many, I didn't know what I wanted to do next in life. But one thing that did come to mind was freelancing. The ability to be able to work from anywhere and earn good money sounded very appealing to me. But I knew if I was going to take this route, I needed to fine-tune my skills and learn new skills. But as I started doing research, I couldn't find many quality courses or programs. So that after talking to others, I realized that we had a problem, and that's why we decided to come up with Blink Social University. Here we offer different courses that teaches our users new freelancing skills. All our courses are taught by Black instructors, and all our information and videos are located in one platform. So no more going through YouTube University trying to piecemeal information together. In addition, we allow all our users to access and communicate with our instructors and other members in the community. So now you may be wondering, like, okay, I take your guys' course, then what? Well, we realized that our individuals that take our courses need a way to make money. So that's how we came up with the Blink Social Marketplace. Once you take our course, you'll be able to list your services on our marketplace. This allows businesses and individuals to have access to Black freelancers in one location. It allows our freelancers to earn money from their skills, and it gives businesses and individuals the opportunity to grow their businesses and brands. On our marketplace, you'll be able to find freelancers by category, by searching by category, viewing their price, their reviews, their ratings, checking out their portfolio, and you'll also be able to message them within the app. This market is huge. There's over 7 million Black freelancers throughout the US, with the median hourly rate that these freelancers make at $28 per hour. Our go-to-market strategy is simple. We target HBCUs and Black student unions, form different brand partnerships, and have events in our top market cities, and feature these freelancers in video series and targeted social media ads. The way we'll earn money is through our course fees. We'll have 3 different payment structures for our courses. We will earn money through our marketplace on our commission fees, and we'll earn money through different partnerships and ad and affiliate revenue. Some of our competitors include Udemy, Skillshare, Coursera, Upwork, Fiverr, and Inclusion. We believe that we have an advantage over them by creating quality freelancers from scratch, and we provide access to quality instructors. In addition, we offer community communication channels, and we're providing businesses and individuals with access to a pipeline of Black freelancers while providing our freelancers with immediate income opportunities. Some of the traction that we received thus far is we raised $11,000 in the Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign. We've been a part of several different accelerator programs. Our ask is $30,000 to help with operating expenses, legal and intellectual property, product development, and advertising. We thank you guys for this opportunity. We'll now open it up for any questions.
First of all, that was a great presentation. I really thought I could tell you were well prepared, and you checked a lot of boxes in terms of the questions that I had, about how this was going to work and how this is going to make money. It sounds to me like you're committed to the idea, and you have a strong plan going forward. And one of the things that immediately came to mind to me that led me to be, I wouldn't say concerned, but just a question I'd love to have your response to is how, when I think about all the freelance sites, not Upwork and the other things out there, Fiverr, stuff like that. Thank you for sharing that screen. I was trying to figure out how you can compete in such a crowded space. I mean, it's clearly lucrative, and I saw you mention the word Black, and you mentioned a couple of times, which I'm definitely a fan of. Is that pretty much the one thing that you are using to kind of make sure you carve out your niche in that space? Is that kind of what the goal is? Because I wonder, are you able to compete with these companies that are super well funded and just have so much traffic flow already?
Yeah, so that would be our main goal in the beginning, is focused on individuals in the Black community. Because if you go on other sites like Fiverr and Upwork, you don't really see too many Black folks on there. So that's where we want to focus first. And there's Black folks everywhere, all across the globe. So as we get bigger, we will want to go into different areas where there is Black people worldwide, and we'll take it there.
Okay. The last question I'll ask, and I'll pass it on to the other panelists, is so $30,000. $30,000 is definitely a start, but obviously more money is needed and stuff like that. Right. What do you plan to do with that first 30 grand, and what's the plan kind of going forward after that?
So for our $30,000, first we would need a lot of it to help with legal and intellectual property, to cover things like trademarks, because like right now we don't have our trademark. So once we get the Blink Social trademark, we'll be able to acquire things like blinksocial.com, and then just make sure that we're well protected so we don't face any problems. And then in addition, we would some of that would go towards product development, and that would help with us being able to create more courses. And we're using a no-code platform to build out our marketplace, so that would just help us to be able to access more things on our no-code platform and make it better. And in addition, it would go towards like different advertising, so we can push it out there, and we can get it out to the public, and people can see what the beautiful thing that we're building.
Okay. Those are all my questions. Now I'll pass to the other brothers.
Hey, Darcel, thank you so much for the presentation. I thought just the way that you presented it was incredible. The flow was smooth, and I definitely understand the problem that you're trying to solve. I did have a couple of clarifying questions that I wanted to know. So you mentioned twice that you're going to source both freelancers, but then also instructors. I just wanted to know how you're thinking about where you're going to find the instructors to be able to teach the courses, and how are you going to incentivize them to stay on the platform?
Yes. So the way that we will find these instructors is through like social media and referral networks. So like that's how we like partner with different people at HBCUs, and through social media we find people all the time that are currently already thriving in the freelance community. So for our courses thus far, we've reached out to them and they've agreed to come on and teach the course. Now the way we're incentivizing them is we're offering them a revenue cut for each course sold. So for courses that they sell and people purchase directly through their link, they will receive 40% of the proceeds. And for courses that we sell and that people buy directly through Blink Social, they'll get 30% of the course. So it's just an additional way for them to earn income over a lifetime for when the course is up on our platform.
Got it. And then can you navigate to the competition slide for me again? My biggest question, so I know that it's a two-sided marketplace. It feels like you're competing not just with one though, but two separate markets. I mean, Upwork and Fiverr is, you know, a contracting market, and then Udemy, Coursera is kind of a learning. You could throw maybe LinkedIn Learning in there as well. How do you feel like you're going to compete at two markets at the same time versus maybe choosing to just have the learning aspect for Black individuals, or just having the freelancer network? I'd love to know what's your perspective there.
Yeah, so really we feel like we'll be able to compete by doing both, because we feel like if we just offer one side, like we really wouldn't have an advantage, because these platforms are already doing it so well. But if we offer both the learning aspect, and then we tell people, hey, like once you learn these skills, we're going to help you by being able to put you straight on our marketplace. So you don't have to learn something for Udemy and then go to Fiverr. We're going to help you learn those skills and then transition into making money. And for people that are just starting out and that are new, this is a big advantage that we have, because we're not basically telling you to go out there and sink or swim. Like, we're giving you the tools to be successful and having you a platform by bringing you customers almost immediately.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marcel, man, amazing pitch, man. Thank you again for being a part of this. So I have a few questions. Well, really one question that maybe dive deeper. When you speak about only directing, or I guess having Black, I guess it's a Black focus, right? Like the instructor, and you're trying to cater to personnel that are Black. Like, can you help me gauge that a little bit? Like, is this instructors Black, or the people that you want to visit the platform, are they coming to the platform because it's Black instructors here? Or can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so we'll target Black instructors and Black freelancers, or individuals that are Black that are wanting to become freelancers. We feel like having Black instructors are important on our Blink Social University side, because since we are targeting Black individuals to take these courses, we know that it's a good way to relate. You want to relate to your instructor, because like when you're learning and you're learning something new, you want to hear it in a language, or you want to just hear it for somebody that looks like you and kind of understands you and your upbringing. You don't really want to learn these skills from, well, you can learn these skills from other people, but we just feel like it's a more compatible feeling when you can work with an instructor that is Black. And then and then we're going to target a lot of Black areas. So like with different like high schools and colleges, we'll be able to go through there and give them opportunities that they may not have access to.
To vote, visit raisefire.co and select today's event. Enter your donations for the pitches you love and click the donate button to proceed to checkout. Review and confirm your donation once more by tapping donate, and finally, key in your payment info to cast your vote. Voting will be open for 7 days, and remember, there's a $5 minimum for your vote to count. The Canon is here to connect you, the entrepreneur, to the resources you need. Whether you need support, help with your programming, or simply looking for new connections, Buchanan is here for you. Members of the Black Men Ventures community are eligible to save 30% on membership. Want more details? Join our mailing list today at blackmenventures.org/submit.
Good evening. My name is Roger Sherman, and I'm the pitmaster and owner of the District Pit Barbecue Catering Company in Washington, D.C. Our mission is to provide the most savory and delicious barbecue you've ever had by using real wood and real smoke to flavor our meats the way people have for thousands of years. We make food taste the way food is supposed to taste. My destiny as a barbecue chef was solidified the day I was born. On Christmas Day, my mother went into labor with me while she was cooking the turkey, and dinner never made it to the table. The running joke in my family my whole life was that I owed mom a turkey, so I started smoking them on my patio until I could make one that was good enough for her. The District Pit was born in a moment of panic when my wife and I realized we had no savings for our teenage daughters to go to college. We decided to start the District Pit, and 5 years later, both of our girls are halfway through their college experience, riding the wave of our small barbecue empire. We'd like to expand that small empire to include the District Pit's urban winery. The global pandemic has created an opportunity for the hospitality industry to create new ways to provide for their patrons. A partnership between the District Pit, the museum, and the mansion on O Street and local wineries will provide such an opportunity. We'll give you delicious barbecue paired with local wines and an exquisite location to enjoy them. We'll transform the mansion's secret garden into an urban winery complete with 20 tables. For the cost of $100, you'll receive an unlimited time museum tour, a barbecue dinner, and ample amounts of adult beverages. We'll limit table times to 2 hours and turn each table twice, recognizing gross sales of $12,000 per event. We'll launch the urban winery Labor Day weekend and run it 1 day per weekend, concluding the weekend prior to Thanksgiving, giving us 12 events and $144,000 in sales. For providing the location, the museum and the mansion will take 25% of the gross. For providing the delicious barbecue, the District Pit will take 25% of the gross at a 33% food cost. Slightly different story with the wineries. Due to DC liquor laws, we'll be required to purchase all of the alcohol up front. This will allow us to negotiate more favorable case pricing and then sell the alcohol at the recommended winery prices. For taking on that responsibility, the District Pit will take an additional 50% of the gross. Marketing will be a collaborative effort between all parties involved, including social media campaigns and use of the extensive mailing lists of the mansion and those of the wineries. Our ask is for $25,000. In order to make this dream a reality, we'll need to purchase the food and the wine. Those will be our biggest expenses. We'd like to get an on-site smoker to keep at the mansion to create that barbecue ambiance we're all familiar with by burning hickory wood in the background. We'll create a marketing campaign complete with social media commercials similar to those that we've done with the mansion in the past, and we'll need to pay our bartenders and our support staff. And in conclusion, if you're not interested in sitting down and having a drink with us, perhaps you'll be interested in our catering services. You can reach out to us at thedistrictpit.com. We're on Instagram at District Pit, and on YouTube, we've got a barbecue food demo show called Pit Perspective. We'd love for you to check that out. Thank you for your time. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to serving you.
First of all, I was really impressed with the presentation. Even when my Wi-Fi was going in and out, I was able to hear a lot of it, almost all of it. And I like the origin story. I think that's great. And that a good story will sell the hell out of your brand. I mean, that'll get you going, you know. And I think that you did a great job with that, and it all made sense. And I guess my first thought would be, you know, in terms of competition, I don't. Maybe you mentioned that, but I might have missed that. In what ways do you think that you have unique abilities to kind of move ahead of the competition or to distinguish yourself at the very least?
Great question. So our competition is anybody who is serving food and drink. I mean, that's pretty simple. Where we're going to look to distinguish ourselves is the fact that we're partnering with the wineries. So in the DC metro area, there's a very nice wine culture here. The issue is the majority of the wineries are an hour to an hour and a half outside of the city. We're partnering with those wineries to bring that wine into the city for a location that's easier to access. So if you're in the District of Columbia, you can get to this with a simple Uber ride. If you're willing to get on the metro, you can get to the metro. We're 2 blocks from the metro. And this is a location that's fairly exclusive. So it creates that same type of ambiance that you would get in the winery. We'll tap into the wineries' clientele. Because we're partnering with those guys, they're going to want to promote us as well. And their clientele that lives in the District of Columbia can be sent to the mansion on O Street rather than having to come all the way out to Virginia. Sure, eventually they'll go back to Virginia because they'll enjoy that space. But on occasion, Maybe they don't want to drive that drive. We'll provide them with delicious barbecue. We're going to give them a beautiful space, and you're going to get that wine from those wineries that you like in Virginia. So our competition has essentially become our partner.
Okay. That's my main question. I'll let the other guys go, and then I'm going to ask one more before we're done. But go ahead, guys.
Mr. Sherman, the presentation was phenomenal. I enjoyed it, and I love what you're doing. My only question is, so what you're seeing right now with a lot of brands that are specifically focused on brick and mortar types of businesses is that, obviously with COVID happening, that was a rare kind of thing. But also, how do you feel that you're going to prepare for something, maybe a variant or some other kind of event that maybe causes people not to come in? Have you thought through, so I know you mentioned the catering services, but have you thought through potentially doing in-home experiences? I mean, how do you take this to the next level to be able to still get that experience to people, even if they can't come into the wineries?
Couple of things about that. So the original idea for this, what I've presented to you today is actually a scaled up version of something that we actually did during the pandemic. So I partnered with the museum and the mansion last summer and did exactly what I am describing to you, minus the wine. So they have a large patio. It spans the length of 5 row houses in Washington, D.C. Under normal circumstances, you could get 100 to 150 people back there for a wedding. We'll set up 20 tables, decrease that number in half, and created that socially distanced ambiance that people were looking for. We only ran it for 4 weeks in August during a pandemic, and it was relatively successful. So we're confident that the way that it is set up currently will sustain itself if there is a variant. Obviously, if there's a complete and total shutdown, we have to go to something else. But we're confident that the way that we're set up, if we were able to make this work during the pandemic, we're confident that we can make it work at this point with the addition of adult beverages, tapping into a more high-scale clientele, and then creating that continued socially distant arena.
Yeah, thank you. I would just say to keep thinking through what those solutions would be if you had to go to other things. As an investor, I would want to know, what some of those alternatives would be. I think if you get that, that puts you far ahead of everyone.
Great. So the last thing I'll say on that exact same point was last year when we had no opportunity to do catering, what the district pit actually did was pivot to individual platters. So we put together a plan every Monday where we would put out a platter, which would be 2 meats and 2 sides or 2 meats and 3 sides. We would remarket that on Wednesday. We would shut off orders at noon on Thursday. And every Saturday at noon, we would have a pickup of those individual platters. That sustained our business for the entire course of 2020. We actually had our best year in existence during the pandemic, doing exactly what you're describing.
Thank you.
Hey, Roger, amazing pitch. I have 2 questions. So my first question is, when you were explaining this pitch, you were only speaking about the experience end. Now, what you just said recently, though, is you have another end of the business. Is this an additional business that you're creating? Like with the plates?
So the Urban Winery is an expansion of my already existing catering business. So the District Pit is a barbecue catering company. And we've done well and we're happy with our successes. But we're looking to expand. We have a great partner in the O Street Mansion who's given us the opportunity to do a couple of things, and we spun this idea to them. Like I said, last year when we were doing the barbecue there, we spun the idea to them in the wineries, and they were all for it. So this is an expansion of the already existing catering business that we have.
Awesome. I love the experience. I come from the event background, so I love the idea of intimate, maybe a more expensive ticket, but a experience that people will pay for, especially when it comes to food and drinks. I've heard about the old mansion. I mean, I've seen it. I've never actually experienced it. But overall, I love the idea. I wish you much success with that. I don't really have any other questions other than that. I think it sounds good.
Thank you. I will address one thing you threw out there. You talked about the ticket. The cost of the ticket at $100, we came up with that price with very specific reasoning. So we'll actually give you back product for 100% of your ticket. My barbecue dinner that I sell on the weekends is $25. The mansion tour is roughly $25. And then after that, we're going to ensure that you walk away with at least $50 worth of alcohol. If you choose to purchase more, great for us, great for you as well. But you'll get all of your money back in product.
And that's how you broke down the percentages?
Yes.
I love it. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Sound like collaboration is key.
It is. If you have the right partners, you can get anything done. I've got strong partners.
To vote, visit raisefire.co and select today's event. Enter your donations for the pitches you love and click the donate button to proceed to checkout. Review and confirm your donation once more by tapping donate, and finally, key in your payment info to cast your vote. Voting will be open for 7 days, and remember, there's a $5 minimum for your vote to count. We'll continue with the remaining pitches momentarily. For your musical pleasure, we're proud to bring you Levi Stevens.
Heard it all before, all the reasons why we can't seem to find what lies beyond the right. I don't love you for this, I know I'm sure. Still I find myself consumed by fears of what may be in store. So I can't get this love I know comes from within. Big heaven without all these things to live. You say that it's hard, I said try to move on. Can't be this way for long. Won't be this way for long. I've seen it in your eyes, the pain you feel inside, and I cannot question when or if I'll ever get it right. 'Cause I've seen it all before, just casual things before. Do you know someone that knows someone that's never come home? So I get this love I know comes from within. Big heaven without all these things to learn. You say that it's hard, I still try to move on. It can't be this way for long. Won't be this way for long. I've been trying hard to see through all that's going wrong, but it's so much that it tears my heart apart. I believe that in due time we'll all begin to see the light. But I know it's right. I know. I've heard it all before, all the reasons why you can't seem to find what lies beyond the divide. Oh, why can't this love I know comes from within be hidden without all these means to end it? You say that it's hard, I said try to move on. Just be strong and move on. So why can't this love I know comes from within? They get on without these things to live. Say that it's hard, I said try to move on. Can't be this way for long. Won't be this way for long. Said it won't be this way for long. No, it won't be this way for long. Cause the change has finally come.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brandon Hunter, and I'm the founder of Roog, a digital platform that allows shoppers to discover unique products and services from minority-owned businesses in our local communities. My inspiration behind this concept came from my personal experience looking and searching to support Black-owned businesses in many of the cities that I lived in. Over a year ago, I got the opportunity to speak with the local business owners in East Austin, and she told me that she had recently purchased a marketing package, and they told her that she reached over 1,000 potential new customers. However, they weren't able to tell her who those customers were if they visited her store or her website, so she didn't get the return on investment that she was looking for. After speaking with her, I ran into a young lady who lived in that community for several years, and when I asked her if she supported that local business, she told me she had never heard of it. And it was in that moment that I realized that there were two pain points. One, where the business owner wasn't able to reach her local community to support her business. And the other, where those potential new customers weren't aware, or the platforms that they use did not highlight those unique businesses for them in their nearby city. And this isn't just a problem in cities like East Austin. This is a problem that many business owners face in America today. In fact, in 2017, the United States recorded $1.6 trillion in e-commerce sales. However, the top 4 states that had the highest concentration of minority-owned businesses received less than 8% of that $1.6 trillion. We determined that we would help the minority businesses in 3 areas: expand their awareness locally, expand their awareness of their brand beyond their local market in strategic cities, and capture more e-commerce purchases for them through our mobile platform. With our solution, you can select the affinity groups and minority groups that you want to support. You can search based on your interests and also based on the businesses that are listed nearby you. Now that we have our product and we've entered it into the market, our market is valued at approximately $20 billion. That's our total addressable market. And that's based on the fact that there are approximately 11.1 million minority-owned businesses in the United States and growing. Our beachhead market will be Texas, and that in itself is worth about $720 million. Since the COVID pandemic, many people have come to realize the challenges that small businesses have been facing. And now we're seeing a lot of new interest into our market. But some of our competitors are Facebook and Instagram. They're the larger ones. And then we have Official Black Wall Street and Where Are You, which focus on niche markets like Black-owned businesses. Where we differentiate ourselves is that we will have diverse profiles because we're minority focused. We will build in activity-based incentives for them to shop more often. And instead of using 5-star reviews, we'll use experience scores. For our revenue channels, we're focusing on 3 areas. And so far, we've validated 2 of the 3. And that's our consulting services and our paper ad as our revenue channels. Our ask is $15,000 to cover the cost of enhancing our app features and also trademark and legal costs to purchase Roop.com. Ladies and gentlemen, our mission is to build a sustainable economic system for minority-owned businesses. And if you believe in our mission, then please download the app, share it with other business owners, and invest in our product. Thank you. I'm here to answer any questions that you have.
That was very nice. I liked the presentation a lot, and I think that you are definitely 100% correct in fulfilling. When you describe the pain points, you were correct. It seems to me that bringing together Black-owned businesses and customers, it's like like a matchmaking dating service kind of thing. Yeah. We were looking for each other, and we can't always find each other. And so maybe you can speak a little in a little more detail in that. And I think that there's room for 1 million companies doing this. I know there are things out there like We Buy Black that does a lot of that stuff, right? And so, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't have a lot of players in that space, right? It's a very important job that you're doing here. So can you walk me through that experience in terms of if I'm using your solution here? Mm-hmm. Is it something that really helps me just in finding, say, digital businesses that are online, or if I'm looking for something that's just in my neighborhood? Is there a plan? Like, what does that process look like for me to find a business? Is that right there on the app where I can find businesses within a 10-mile radius, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So basically, this is our MVP, but with our current design, you can find businesses just based on you typing it into the search bar, whether it's shoes or shirts, whatever. But also when you do that, we built in the locator for you to find those businesses that are nearby you, because we are hyper local and local focused. And so the businesses that are in our database that are located nearby you, whether they're brick and mortar or online, they will populate for you to be able to engage them.
Okay, and can you help me just clarify for me? And I'm sure, I know you addressed some of this, but I'd like to, if you could. So how do we get these businesses? What exactly, if I'm a business owner, what makes me want to sign up for the service?
Yeah, so right now what we're pitching is that we are building a platform that allows you not only to reach your audience. In many cases, business owners, particularly Black business owners, think that their only audience are Black shoppers. Mm-hmm. And from our research, that's not necessarily true. So what we're doing is we're building a platform and pushing a more diverse perspective so that we don't only just drive you Black consumers, but we drive conscious consumers who want to support your business, your product, and your services. And so that's the sale, is that we're going to be pushing to an even broader audience than just the Black community, but anybody who wants to support these minority and affinity groups.
Okay, and so the audience that you're pushing me to as a business owner is the audience of individuals that have downloaded the app, correct?
Yes, that have downloaded the app, yeah.
Okay, and how do we how do we get to the point where you can tell me, X number of people have downloaded the app, 10 million, 1 million, 100,000, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so far we've released only in the Apple Store, and so this has been in our MVP stage, but we have over 400 downloads so far. We have over 2,000 impressions, more than 500 product page views, and we've been averaging about 25 to 26 monthly users on just our Apple platform. And we've now worked to expand it to the web and mobile version for Android users and desktop users. And we'll continue to update those numbers as well. So we're in the growing phase. We're growing our base with our users. We're consistently adding businesses to the platform. And, hopefully our plan within the next 6 months is to have a larger number of users to drive to your business as well.
Okay. Excellent presentation. Thank you. Good job.
Hey, Brandon, thank you so much for this. This is awesome. I was listening to it and just thinking, like, this has real unicorn potential. First, quick question. Where are you based?
I'm based in Dallas right now.
Okay, so that would be kind of the initial market that you were going after when you showed the slide. Can you pull up the revenue page? I think I saw something about 200K in MRR.
Yeah.
Walk me through, and can you just tell us a little bit more about how the pricing model is going to work? So I'm a small business, whether I be brick and mortar or e-commerce store. What am I paying to be on the platform?
So you don't pay to be on the platform. We have the first model will be our premium model. So you get on, you can list your business, you can list your products. Now, what we're building towards is the pay per ad model, where, we're not trying to break the bank, but you spend a small amount to promote your ad to our audience, whether it's your product or your service or, even a creative video that you may have. And then for that's the pay per ad. And from there, we build that model to our subscription model for the businesses, which is about $150, which is what we use to define our total addressable market, which is our TAM. And so that would include insights and different other things for businesses that will let them know who their customers are, what their interests are, so they can better market to them as well. That's for the pay per ad. Our consulting services, we help businesses with, business plans, strategy, and things like that. And we've solidified a few bookings for that as well. And then for our in-app purchases, when we actually start to allow people to purchase within the app, that's when we'll take a small commission of 5%. The business owners that we interviewed were not open to 10% commission. So that's still an opportunity to make money. And so the in-app purchase revenue is still something that we see as being lucrative over time within our 5-year projection model. But that also depends on the number of users we get on our platform. So the higher the number, the higher this monthly recurring revenue can be.
Got it. And then I know Dr. Watkins asked about this briefly too, but I just wanted you to go into a little bit more detail about how you actually plan to go after not just the businesses, but also the users. And if you could provide specifics around that, what are your sales and marketing strategies going to be like? Do you have social media campaigns? Are you going to plan on hiring, maybe sales representatives, door-to-door people? How are you going to capture the attention from the audience?
Yeah. So right now we've been doing it through our social media channels. And also leveraging some of our connections with local news articles and organizations to highlight what we're doing. But mainly through our Instagram, our LinkedIn, and our Facebook pages, we've been able to build an organic audience and following. And we're almost at 1,000 followers right now just with that. And so that's one of our channels. The other channels are strategic partnerships. We're working with a few local entities such as the National Urban League in Austin, a few Chamber of Commerces, to represent us and highlight what we're doing to get businesses to register, but also to get new users to download our app. We've also gone through a few accelerators that are supportive of us. And recently we went through Bunker Labs, which is for veterans. And so they have been highlighting us, which has helped drive more downloads. And also we've been able to add more veteran businesses to our platform to help diversify. So we're leveraging our social media channels. We're leveraging the accelerators and the events that we go through to build this relationship so that people can help us spread the word. But ultimately, what we do need is funding to really aggressively market through all of those channels, whether it's radio, television, social media, and creating some viral content, hopefully in the coming months. So we're looking at all those channels right now to grow our user base and also to get people to download business owners to upload their business. One of the ways that we plan to do that is through our small business expos, the Essence Festival. We have already pulled all those events that we want to attend so that we can continue to drive user growth.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But from the perspective of not having funding, we're using the things that we don't have to really spend money on. But ultimately, we want to be able to spend some money towards growing our user base to a higher number.
Yeah, and maybe partnering with some influencers, like some heavyweight pastors, social media personality types. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. We've been talking to a few people. We have a few connections with a few athletes here in the Dallas area that we're working with, and we're also working on a crowdfunding campaign, which I think will help us because the organization will probably market for us as well to raise those funds.
Yeah, Brandon, great stuff, man. I have one question for you. I thought it was interesting when you said you're catering to minority. Obviously, minority is broader than Black, right? So, and when you look at competition like Dr. Boyce Watkins' name, which was like We Buy Black, I found that you're in the interesting space, right? Because you don't necessarily have to cater directly only to Black in the minority space. What's your focus there specifically when you said minority?
So minority was, from my research over the past few years, and we've done research where we've interviewed 50 plus business owners on the challenges, right? We've taken surveys from potential customers that want to use a platform like this, and what we found is that there are a lot of people, regardless of their color, who are open to supporting and shopping at these minority-owned businesses. What I wanted to do was create a space where we weren't just singling out our community and keeping them from getting more funds or more purchases. So the minority approach was more inclusive, and I felt that it would bring more people to our mission. And so that's part of what I was going for with that. Another thing that I had is I had a conversation with a young lady who was Black. I met her at a winery, and when I asked her if she would use an app that was Black owned or Black focused, she said she really didn't care to use it because even though she was Black, she didn't identify with the Black American plight. She was Spanish and Black, right? And so that was another thing that came to mind was that, okay, even though I'm saying Black and Black only, there are a lot of people who still don't necessarily resonate with that. So what's another way to be inclusive and get more people to feel comfortable when using this platform?
I love it. No, I love it. You have to be creative in any way, right, to get minority money in the door. So, we don't want to limit ourselves by saying Black only, buy Black. No, we want Spanish money. We want we want their money too.
Yes.
So great stuff, man. I love it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where you go forward with this.
Appreciate it, man. And make sure y'all download it when you get a chance and let us know how it is.
Sure will.
To vote, visit razorfire.co and select today's event. Enter your donations for the pitches you love and click the donate button to proceed to checkout. Review and confirm your donation once more by tapping donate. And finally, key in your payment info to cast your vote. Voting will be open for 7 days. And remember, there's a $5 minimum for your vote to count.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Jason Lewis. I'm a native of Capitol Heights, Maryland. So DMV, stand up, hail to the Washington football team is what we're going by. I'm a two-time college graduate. I'm a motivational speaker, and I am the owner of Tulin Comics. Tulin Comics is a superhero comic book, and our mission statement here is to encourage, empower, and inspire every single young person through the medium of superhero comic books. I grew up watching superhero comics like X-Men, Spider-Man, Power Rangers, all that. And as I was motivationally speaking, I was starting to realize that a dope way to gain young people's attention, to entertain them, and to massage morality and positivity is by using superheroes. So we created Tulin comic books. Now, what we're going through today is going to be talking about our entire program. Our target market is 7 to 12-year-old boys who are interested and entertained by superheroes. One of the biggest problems that we've seen is that families are constantly looking for family-friendly content, but that also is not going to be like lame and boring and cheesy or anything like that. That's where Tulin Comics jumps right into the market. Our product is a family-friendly superhero comic book that does what we like to call address the madness. Now, madness is actually an acronym that we created. MAD, it stands for mental health, anti-bullying, and diversity. So that means that every single comic book we drop is going to touch on mental health, anti-bullying, and diversity. Our team currently consists of about 4 individuals that assist with various departments like tour management, finances, art department, as well as marketing. We're really excited because we've generated $20,000 since March of this year. And for us, that is considered rapid growth in that we only expected to sell 500 copies of this comic book the entire year as an independent comic book without any sort of latch on or mainstream notable figures. We doing this dolo from the mud, from the ground up. And so currently we've sold 900. So we're 400 over our yearly goal. Super excited about that. We've got a pretty ambitious we got a pretty ambitious vision. Our vision is to create an umbrella IP, superhero IP, consisting of comic books, toys, cartoons, and merchandise that penetrate 1 million homes nationwide by 2025. So we want to do these various things with the property, but it all starts with the comic book. And the way that we're going to get the comic book out there, the way that we have been getting the comic book out there is very grassroots. So right now we selling this product at concerts, at Comic-Cons, at public schools, homeschool conferences, music festivals, family-friendly events, churches. Yo, if there's young people who need inspiration, uplifting, and encouraging, Tulin Comics, we finna pull up and we're going to try to get them this encouragement. Our current business model is one of gradual scaling. And the way that we do that is the first thing we're trying to do is establish our comic book with our tour. Right now, we are going across the entire country, touring various events and selling our comic book there. Then we will graduate to releasing multiple issues, building our fan base. And then we want to secure hard copy distribution at a brick and mortar. So not only are we there in person, but we're also available online, and we're also available at your local comic book stores or even your local grocery stores that sell magazines and things of that such. And then we get a little ambitious, like I said previously, where we want to debut the cartoon, debut the toy line, but everything starts with the Tulin comic book. Our primary superhero, matter of fact, his name is Drip. Drip is actually an acronym, and it stands for Do Right, Inspire People. So our primary superhero, Drip, his name is an acronym. It stands for Do Right, Inspire People. And that's what we're trying to encourage every young person who read our comic book to do right and inspire people. Our need is for $70,000. This will assist us produce and distribute issue number 2. Open up our satellite divisions in North Carolina and Atlanta and provide them with more product, more comic books. Put down a down payment on a 15-passenger touring vehicle, so I don't got to run up all these miles on my personal vehicle. And also, again, like we said, with the vision is to create a 17-minute cartoon pilot. But again, it all starts with the comic book. So in summary, what we know is that families are looking for kid-friendly content. I don't know if y'all have grandkids or sons or daughters or nieces or nephews, but if you do, I'm sure that you're very interested in them making sure that they're reading family-friendly content. So we've created a superhero comic book that addresses mental health, anti-bullying, and diversity, and we are requesting $70,000 to assist with scaling, product distribution, and creative development. All that being said, this is the most personal slide of everything to me, because this slide right here, this is going to bring in that family unit that we're passionate about. This is going to bring in reading comprehension, reading literacy with young people that we're passionate about, not exclusively, but we do want to highlight within minorities. This is going to bring in a promotion of positivity, morality, and values. This right here, this the lifeblood of tooling. This is why we wake up in the morning. This is why we drive 12 hours to an event and do what we do, so that we can keep getting images like this from our consumers. This is tooling. We want to encourage, empower, and inspire every single reader of our comic book. My name is Jason Lewis. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Okay, yeah. I guess I'd be curious to know about, your competition, or anybody that you see that's doing what you're doing. I wouldn't even say look at them as competition per se, but just somebody that has a template. Is a Marvel or Disney or something like that, where you kind of say, okay, this gives us a guideline of how we can kind of keep building on this, as time goes on. Who's in your space, and who are you? What companies might be aspirational to where you are right now?
Okay. So not to sound arrogant or anything like that. But I guess for the layman, you would look at DC Comics, you would look at Marvel Comics, but I wouldn't necessarily say that that's going to be our competition. One of the biggest reasons is because comic book community, they different, man. Our competition, I mean, for lack of better terms, I guess it would be them, but we are so different in that we have direct access into the public school system. And so we have reading programs with public schools that purchase in bulk our product and disseminate our product to their middle schoolers and to their incoming high schoolers. I have not seen any of the other, in the comic book community, they would be called the big two, right? I haven't seen that tactic being employed by them ever before. So we're able to get this product to them. Also, because we do stuff on like a grassroots, like if you're a rapper, you're pulling it like right out the trunk of your car. We are able to get this product to a lot of young people where this is their first introduction ever to a comic book. And so they are actually being introduced to our product before they're being introduced to some of our competitors' products. Now, competitors, of course, they got like giant machines and things of that nature behind them, but we have yet to come by a person that was like, no, I don't want this because I like Batman, or no, I don't want this because I like Spider-Man. So you were right in your original assessment. It's not really competition, but they're doing it at a healthy level. We respect that, but we try and do something a little different.
So you've already got that access to the school systems and whatnot. That's pretty much where you expect most of your money to come from, is that access that you've already established, or you're hoping to establish more access?
So the school system is going to provide not necessarily finances, because a lot of schools we work with, Title I, low income schools, they don't got much bread. We are taking an L financially by servicing them with our product. But I grew up right outside of Washington, D.C., so I know the importance of reading comprehension, reading literacy. So we're actually taking an L when we actually give out a lot of these books to the schools. However, what the schools will provide is it's going to generate buzz, it's going to generate traffic, and because we believe in our product, after they get hooked on the first one, well, then they will begin purchasing more and more for the incoming issues. So it's good for traffic. It's great for buzz. It's great for just generating notoriety for our product. But that's not the majority of our finances. As of right now, the majority of our finances come from hard copy sales. Like if we pull up at an event, we are likely to do $1,200, $1,500 at an event. And with only putting down $150 for a table, paying staff about $200, you know what I'm saying? We're netting a healthy amount. But that just means that we got to stay on the road consistently.
Wow, very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yo, Jason, the presentation was super dope. And I apologize for skipping out. My laptop died. I wanted to make sure I was still plugged in. This is inspiring. I think not only do Black kids, but all kids need to see Black superheroes. So this is really cool. My first question to you is, what do the margins look like for you right now? So what are the production costs of what it takes to make one of these? I'm looking at the pictures right now, and it looks like it's very high quality. I mean, probably better than most other comic books I've seen. And then how much are you selling?
All right. That was one of the things that we wanted to separate. And that was why with the previous question, I was like, we're doing a lot of things different. So in the comic book community, there's like a cookie cutter way to do things. But I didn't grow up in the comic book community, so I don't really know exactly how they do things. So for instance, like you can already see, just even in the pictures, we're putting out a higher quality product than the traditional comic book. We're putting out more content than a traditional comic book. So as far as what the margins look like, it's running us roughly around $2.25 per issue, but we're moving it at $15. And so distribution, it costs well, not necessarily distribution, but publishing each issue, we're running again at $2.25 per issue. We're paying staff so that when we do get to an event, everybody is well taken care of. And we're also paying vendor spots at various events. And that's going to vary, right? So you get some events that are smaller. It might be like $200 for a table. You get a huge event that's going to be 3,000, 4,000 people. That table might run you $600, $700, even up to New York Con. That's going to run you like $1,250 over the course of 4 or 5 days. And so that's going to vary. We are extremely excited because we are seeing return on investment much sooner than we thought. We really was just hoping to break even this year. And so just a lot of people are fascinated with the comic book, but also the cause. Yesteryear, back in the day, there were plenty of X-Men, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Darkwing Ducks, etc. However, in 2021, there's a bit of a gap. And what I mean by that is that there are superhero properties that exist for 18 and up, very mature content matter that you wouldn't want your smaller kids watching. And then there's content for like 3 to 5 year olds with PJ Masks and with it's another car thing, but it's for really young ones. That kind of 7 to 12-year-old where they still want to fight like Power Rangers and do karates and do backflips. There's a lot of newer content missing. You've got the same content that we've all grown up with the Spider-Mans and the X-Mans and the Batmans, but there is an open market for a new IP, a new superhero property, and we hoping to fill that market.
Yeah, $2.25 production to $15 is great margins. So congratulations on that. So one like everybody said, great pitch. I just have one question real quick. I'm interested to know if you can do this briefly about your online marketing plan. I didn't really hear that. I think that's a large market, right? Like you don't necessarily have to, deal with schools. I mean, schools should be a part of your marketing plan. It should come out of your marketing budget if you're taking an L, right? So it's not really technically an L, it's just a part of your marketing budget. But overall, I think that, I think that the online is really where it's at, and being able to target the markets that you need, which will probably be, unrepresentative communities, minority communities, which I'm assuming behind the message of it. So I'm interested to know what's your game plan with the online.
So fantastic question. With the online marketing, we're planning to use things like Google Ads, of course, Facebook, social media. Facebook is going to be a huge one for us. And here is why. One of the reasons it's going to be so big, because while our consumer is going to be these younger children who are reading our comic books, our customer, the people with the bread, is older adults who have that value in making sure that their kids are going to be reading something positive. And we all know that Facebook has a much larger market of older people. So we are planning to get that revved up even more so than what we're currently doing. But anybody's been following, we realize that Facebook has kind of lost some things as far as algorithms are concerned. And so it kind of dumping that money into a lot of ad space there until they get that taken care of. We're saving that money and we're investing it more so in our setup at these events, in prototypes, proof of concept with the toys, proof of concept with the cartoon as well. But we are actively engaging and we're keeping our eye looking for when Facebook can correct that default so we can dive all in.
Good. The only thing I want to say, I will challenge you to add TikTok in there. Depending based on what your target demographic is, I think that's the market that you may want to look at too. A lot of viral content go there, and also look at motion graphics as well. overall, I love the product. Great margins. Congratulations, and wish you best of luck.
To vote, visit razorfire.co and select today's event. Enter your donations for the pitches you love and click the donate button to proceed to checkout. Review and confirm your donation once more by tapping donate. And finally, key in your payment info to cast your vote. Voting will be open for 7 days. And remember, there's a $5 minimum for your vote to count. We'll continue with the remaining pitches momentarily. For your musical pleasure, we're proud to bring you Levi Stevens.
Yes, I owe you an explanation for all those open-hand conversations. You know that your head full of premonition. Maybe you have cause for your suspicions. Well, the truth is nothing's really changed. Then again, nothing's quite the same. But I hate feeling like it's all wrong and I'm the cause to blame. So I had to write this song for you. So baby girl, give me all the truth. In spite of what we've been going through, it's what I have to do. So baby, I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused. When you want to know the truth, baby, I'm still going down. So all those surrounding changes parts, damn near so I was wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry for the pain that I brought you. Maybe I'm consumed by my own confusion, and not knowing why left me disillusioned. Well, see, it's a little hard to make this succession, baby, yeah. So I'm all ears if you have suggestions. Cause the truth is nothing's really changed. Then again, nothing's quite the same. But I hate feeling like it's all wrong and I'm the cause for blame. So I had to write this song for you. So baby girl, you know that you're in spite of what we've been going through, it's what I had to do, yeah. See baby, I'm sorry about all the pain that I've done. When you wanna know the truth, baby, I'm still moving on. So the all those random change of hearts can be torn our world apart. Baby, I'm sorry for the pain that I've gone through. And I wanna love you like you know that. Just a little fun for me, but I try. Oh, I sound tired, yeah. Cause I can't imagine that I did you by my side. So just sleep through what you do. Baby, I'm so in love with you. Sorry for the pain that I've caused you. Baby girl, you know we gotta see this through. Hey, darling, I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused. When you wanna know the truth, baby, I'm still moving through. So the all those random change of hearts, damn near to our worlds apart. Baby, I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused you. Yeah, baby, I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused you. Yeah. Oh, darling, I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused you. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused you. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Jamal Carter. I'm the CEO and founder of Hungry LLC. Before Hungry LLC was established, it merely was just a new concept created in my sophomore year in college. From many inspirations, the one that impacted me the most was from Malik Jarrett, the owner of Eat Elevate All the Time, and this individual motivated me to create my own clothing brand. So what is Hungry? It is a streetwear clothing apparel brand, and it stands for Humility Unfolds Nonchalant, Gleeful, Relentless Youngins. I know you're asking, is that a V or a U? It actually is a V, but when you read it out, read it out as hungry, not humvery. And we simply did this to prevent trademark infringement. So it is our mission to offer a unique, fashionable experience to young, hungry individuals to never give up on their dreams, goals, and aspirations in life. And we'll do this by upholding our 3 core values: integrity, quality, and customer satisfaction. Our status check today, we have a widespread of offerings throughout the United States. We accumulated almost $10,000 just in the year of 2020, and we sold 500 products out of our inventory, majority of it coming from direct selling and website sales. So what is the problem? There are a lot of underrepresented African-American fashion designers in the streetwear industry, simply because of the color of their skin, and critics discredit their work of art and their opinions. According to Zimpa, there's only 5.9% fashion black designers. As compared to whites, there's only 59.6%. So you can definitely see the disadvantage where people of color are at in this type of industry. So what is the solution? We just want to be seen as a motivation for the youth, and essentially want to let them know that you can have an idea, start from nothing, turn it into something, and then develop it into a lifestyle to showcase to individuals. So the industry we are in is in the streetwear industry. In the year 2019, it accumulated almost $185 billion. And researchers do anticipate by 2025, it'll be worth almost $2.25 trillion. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a lot of dollars after reading that statement. So our strategy to attack this industry, we're going to produce high quality products at a low cost. And we're going to attend pop-up shops, college events, and collaborate with other designers. So not only are we getting our word out and the brand out, but others is aware there as well as we both collaborate. And then we're just going to expand our e-commerce presence through social media platforms, advertisements, and other various online platforms. And here is the products that we do offer. As you can see, we offer shirts, hats, sweatsuits, beanies, slides, the whole 9 yards. You might as well call us the new Nike. So the financial seed ask, we are asking a total of $25,000 US dollars. $15,000 goes to brand marketing, $5,000 goes to product development, and another $5,000 goes to community engagement. And these 3 components will just help with brand recognition and help to getting our name out there to the community. And so this is the customer cam, which does highlight many individuals that wear the brand and support us. And you can find these same pictures on our website, and you too can be featured on as well. I feel like one of the reasons why people buy from us is because they simply see the vision behind the brand and know that it has potential to take off, and it could simply be the next Gucci, Prada, Louis, any type of designer, streetwear brands that are popular today. And the logo, it just speaks volumes for itself. You know, you can see the mindset of the individual being hungry. It's not necessarily appetite, but mindset wise. And our competitive advantage is, again, we have our own motivational slogan: never stop devouring, emphasizes to push your dreams. We are recognized by the USPTO in the Commonwealth of Virginia, so it's not like we're selling these products illegally. We're recognized by the state, and each purchase does come with a rubber bracelet and a sticker, just to keep our consumers coming back to purchase more items. Again, I want to thank you for listening in to our pitch. You can buy our products at our website below, or you can get in contact with me as well. And remember, never stop devouring.
I really liked the pitch, Jamal. I was very impressed, man. I thought you did a great job. And I love the way you mentioned your core values in the beginning. Your acronym is awesome. When you say stay hungry, that immediately draws up imagery. It's going to attract a certain demographic. You're identifying your people, and the rest is up to you. Okay, so I like where this is going, man. I thought you did a great job of laying out the vision and everything else. One thing I notice a lot is there's a lot of people that are doing, clothing type brands and stuff like that. And it seems like a lot of these businesses don't do what, the founders expect them to do. What do you think? What have you put into this, and where is this going, and what is it about your vision that should make me feel that this is going to really do something different from what so many other clothing brands have done?
So I feel like with our company, we differentiate 100 times so simply because we're in a community presence. I was recently featured in the news and published in the newspaper, not only about me, but my business, highlighting where I started and where I'm at now. So it's kind of like, again, in my pitch deck of saying how I just want to be a motivation for the youth to let them know where you can essentially be in my position and, create anything that you desire to be and aspire whatever dreams you want to accomplish during your life here.
Okay. I'll pass it on to the other brothers on the panel.
Yo, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you for the presentation. This is really dope. So with brands, I'm always curious to know, right? Because it's very specific to the founder, what their vision is. I think that's what really differentiates good brands from bad brands is how far can you see it and how many people you'll touch. And I know you're saying you really want to build that out. What does the community look like? What does the Hungry community look like? Maybe, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now. I mean, really talk me through what the big vision is and where you want the company to be.
So as far as big picture wise, I feel like it starts with the community by community givebacks that is mentioned in my pitch deck as well. Just being involved in the community as far as like politics wise, or it could be just going into the schools, letting them know like, hey, this entrepreneur way could be this way instead of working a 9 to 5. And most people won't be comfortable in that position, but just letting them know there's another way.
Cool. Thank you.
Jamal, excellent stuff, man. I am familiar with Malik and Eat brand. I had him on a panel for Expo a few years back, and his brand is definitely taken off. So I definitely understand your vision and where you're going with that. I'm really interested in understanding, though. I see you have a product like the one that's on the screen, your logo. Is your focus right now is putting that on as many pieces of products, or are you centered focus on individuals pieces at this point? I think that's a good strategy because understanding that helps you understand, how to scale, maybe do packages, right? So many different things you can do with the same logo, same type of t-shirt, multiple different colors versus having multiple logos, more product, more overhead. So I'm interested to know your strategy there.
So great question. So Hungry is the logo, but I have many different designs as far as like designing the word around Hungry. So it's just like, I'm not sure. So like, this is the ideal picture. So Hungry is the brand, but I have different designs in place as far as like different types, using on different types of clothing. It doesn't necessarily limit to clothing. I don't know if you've seen in my pitch deck, there's a bag that's, let me find it real quick. Bottom right.
Oh, okay.
Yes, bags. So I'm just trying to, expand my product range and not just limit it to just clothing. So similar just to like Nike.
Good. And margins, are you getting this stuff done locally, or are you getting this stuff done large scale production out of the country? Like how's your margins on this stuff?
So we use the outsourcing strategy, and we have suppliers in the US as well. Okay. So we don't limit ourselves to just one strategy.
Product is consistent though?
Mm-hmm, correct.
Good. I love it. I love the designs. I actually want to have and some flip flops. Great stuff, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
To vote, visit raisefire.co and select today's event. Enter your donations for the pitches you love and click the donate button to proceed to checkout. Review and confirm your donation once more by tapping donate, and finally, key in your payment info to cast your vote. Voting will be open for 7 days, and remember, there's a $5 minimum for your vote to count.
Hello, my name is Sean Burt. I'm the CEO and founder of Gourmeal. Gourmeal is a fintech mobile application that allows patrons at live events to be able to order foods, beverage, or alcohol in the convenience of their location at the venue. Some of the use cases include music festivals, concerts, state fairs, and other ticketed events. Our primary objective is to assist clients to be able to order their food and beverage without having to be concerned about COVID being passed alongside them or standing in long, extended wait lines due to COVID protocols at an entertainment event. Our objective is to provide a solution that allows individuals to order through our mobile application for the refreshment and to be able to see all the vendors located throughout the venue without having to be removed from their comfort of their seat or where they're standing. Once an individual goes to the mobile application, they will be able to view all the possible options that they can choose from to eat. They choose the vendor of their selection of their choice, and they begin to put in their specifications what they desire to eat. Then at that particular point, a text message as well as email is sent to them to notify them when they're able to come and pick up their order. Our business model is taking a 10% commission fee in comparison to our competition with DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats taking 30%. The hospitality industry of restaurants and bars and lounges taking 20%. We're taking a very small commission fee on every single transaction. Our competitive advantage is a strategic, systematic 5 to 10 year contracts to be able to be the only sole payment processor at the event. Consumers are able to view all the available options, and the user experience allows them not to have to wait in a long, extensive line while missing out the potential show, as well as they don't have to squint their eyes to see the small font upon the billboards. And vendors are able to have unlimited capabilities of processing all the transactions. And I have an infinite scalability in which a vendor is able to upload their menu and to be able to launch through our self-service portal within less than 1 hour. Some of my primary competition is Square, Toast, and Clover. One of the distinctive things that differentiates us, as well as each one of these primary competitors, are only able to take one transaction at a time, similar to the taxi industry, when an individual had to call to place a taxi or through hailing. Uber has the ability by placing the order through the mobile application, by putting the power into the consumer's hands and therefore unlocking all potential of being able to absorb the demand at one time. My go-to-market plan is to finish out the design, the development, and test the technology, continue building the relationships and the rapport with 5 strategic music festivals and state fairs that I've already begun to implement, including the Dallas, Texas State Fair and the New York State Fair. Then in Q1 to launch with these pilots and stress test the technology, then aggressively acquire these contracts for the remaining of the year for the music festivals, state fairs, and other large annual events. My objective isn't focused on acquiring revenue initially. My objective is to acquire the exclusive contract, therefore insulating my revenue and protecting against competitors. My 3-year plan strategy is to acquire a minimum of 30 contracts within the first year. Then over the course of 3 years, 300 music festivals, and have a ARR of $25 million, giving my enterprise a hard cash value of $250 million. My goal is to aggressively expand in the next 12 to 18 months by other continents and other locations around the world that COVID is still dramatically affecting them, in which I am not emphasizing them to launch, but I am acquiring it so that in the future, my perspective is the sales cycle will be shorter, because in the past 2 years, they have not made any revenue, and the cost of my product is zero because we profit share in the back end. Therefore, they'd be far more incentivized to be able to acquire a product that can dramatically help them increase their revenue to survive for year number 3. And exit strategy is either IPO within 5 years or be acquired by a major food delivery party or a food processor due to my high profit margins. My competitors have an immense amount of foothold on standard brick and mortar locations, but due to annual events, they're not able to focus specifically on a vendor because it comes and goes, and that vendor may not necessarily be at that particular event for that next year. So therefore, similar to Square, selling and focusing on the individual consumer, like barbers and small boutiques of those vendors, I'm focusing on vendors at those particular locations at the venue. with one venue making an agreement with me, I'm able to strategically mandate to the vendors to acquire my technology, since the vendors are governed by the venue. So one potential venue can give me a subset of 100 different vendors, and those 100 vendors will be mandated to only process transactions using my applications, and therefore the consumers are also mandated to purchase the food, beverage, and alcohol through my app. But the vendor makes more money by being able to streamline its process, and the consumer also benefits by them not having to rely on waiting in line. My market size, I have well over $37 billion as of 2018, and with over 73,000 events, no one is specifically targeting a sole and exclusive contracts for these particular events, since it's not formatted into an industry yet, and my objective is to be the first. My objective is to acquire $50,000 to primarily focus on my software development, my marketing, as well as my business development and acquiring clients, and ultimately legal. I greatly appreciate your time, and if you're any interest to partner or to invest, please reach out to me. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Great presentation. I can see the vision crystal clear, and you did a great job of expressing that and helping us understand it. And my hope and prayer is that you make at least $1 trillion with your business, because you deserve it, because I can tell that you're committed to this idea. A few things that came to mind, and I'll start with one thing. You mentioned COVID and social distancing and things like that, which I think is obviously very, very important. But I wonder, what if COVID is kind of a temporary thing, let's say in 2 years, nobody's thinking about that anymore. Does that kind of take away, one of the reasons that people might use the app? I mean, it sounded like COVID and the current conditions was a big reason for the use of the app, but I don't see that being the case so much, say, in 2023. What do you think about what I just said?
I believe that COVID accelerated the urgency, similar to Clorox, toilet tissue, wipes, was accelerated on COVID. So therefore, the sense of urgency by attempting to accommodate my potential clients for a solution to assist them, they will perceive my technology as an asset. Post-COVID, 2023, 2024, regardless, the problem will still stay consistent, long lines. So I've been in sales for over 13 years, and I understand the sales cycle, the psychology, and the temperature engagement in which an individual has to get to before they agree with you. And so therefore, I am riding the acceleration of COVID to allow my business to hit and scale faster.
Okay. Next question I had, great answer, by the way. Next question I had is I saw you mention that you said you would take a smaller percentage to allow yourself to compete, kind of undercut the competition on price and things like that. So how would you make a profit at a price level that is lower than other people are willing to go? I mean, what makes you feel like you can go into that dangerous territory and still be okay?
For one, when the exclusive contract is implemented, the reason why Netflix was able to overtake Blockbuster, or Toys R Us was dominated by Amazon, or Sears was overtaken by Best Buy, is because they did not have insulated revenue. So therefore, similar to an electricity company that has exclusive territory rights, they don't have to be concerned about spending immense amount of money on marketing. And because my technology is through a mobile application, it's easy to be deployed, my operational cost is minimal. So therefore, it's similar to a card reader like Verifone that partners with Target or Walmart. Once they lock in that contract, their customer acquisition cost virtually goes to zero. So once I therefore have a relationship with a vendor or strategic alliance, my customer acquisition cost is at minimum, since I am not trying to market to a huge target market, tens of thousands of people that may come there, because it's a mandated application. And two, next year I'm have guaranteed revenue. My goal was to build my business around very low cost to operate, high profit margins, 90% above EBITDA, after EBITDA between 75 and 85% based on profit sharing. And at that particular point, I'm able to propel my company without raising multiple rounds of financing and utilize my growth of my revenue to propel expansion.
Okay. Gourmet is great. First, I want to say this is an amazing product. I went to a baseball game maybe a month ago, maybe a month, 2 months ago, Orioles game, and I literally had this issue, right? I'm missing the game. I'm in a long line. Somebody hit a home run, right? Right? And yeah, I get to watch it on the screen, but I'm in that line, and it's taken away from my experience. So one, you're solving a huge issue. So I wanted to first say kudos to you on that. So this is basically a B2B. You're going directly to a business. You're going direct to the large scale. But are you only dedicated into events and hospitality? That concerns me a little bit, thinking about the COVID scare and things of that nature. Is that I'm assuming that's the main industry that you're tackling, is just the hospitality and events industry. Is that correct?
So my initial strategy over the course of 5 years is to go where the least amount of resistance to acquire revenue. I like to call it my land and expand strategy, because once I acquire it, I do not have to go and resell it or reacquire it through immense amount of effort and retain it. And so it's better for me to have guaranteed 100 million in ARR before I try to expand into a territory like Lyft and Uber. It's the reason why Uber they're in well over 200 plus companies, but their stock is only up, 25% from when they IPO. Because when you enter inside of markets with an enormous amount of competition, it requires you to spend a lot more resources in order to maintain. It's better to be a big fish in a small pond versus a small fish in the great ocean. I'm trying to monopolize my industries. Then once I'm able to acquire a gargantuan amount of consistent revenue, then I can invade other competitive territories, and I can cut my prices exponentially lower, similar to Amazon, because they didn't have the infrastructure costs as most of their competitors. That's why the malls went down. So now that I have hypothetically 100 million coming through the door, then I'm able to say I'm going to expand into this vertical, and I'm able to be immensely amount of competitive and incentivize my future clients with far more benefit to them, and not necessarily be concerned about my burn rate.
Awesome. And again, your main focus is solving that issue for the venue. Is that correct?
That is correct. Affirmative. Yeah. So my objective is focus on live events. So it's initially music festivals, state fairs, where there is literally, once the event is over with, because most of my competition focus on brick and mortar, because there's a phone number that you can call, there's a person you can contact. So therefore, they're looking at it as it's a non-existent opportunity. But my vantage point is I'm seeing the opportunity by partnering with the owner of the land and saying anybody that puts an event on your land, you mandated to them to utilize my technology, because most annual events come to the same location every single year based on brand recognition and a potential long-term contract. Then with me having a profit share model with the potential venue owner, 2 to 5%, now I have guaranteed revenue. My goal is to take a book out of Warren Buffett's playbook by revenue.
Yeah. So and the other thing is obviously that people will be able to see all of the vendors in space. If you're in a large stadium, you may not be able to know that it's a Philly cheesesteak on the other side. It's an awesome idea, man. Awesome
Exactly.
idea. Great stuff.
My goal is to go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Sure.
No, my goal is to allow my future patrons to be able to see the fried chicken, the barbecue shop, the soul food that you want. But at the same time, I'm not trying to spend 30 minutes just to walk 300 yards, then to wait in line a whole 45 minutes. So you just literally spent half of your time at a venue and you missing the show. So therefore, my goal is to have a very profitable margin. And also to piggyback on what the previous gentleman said, my goal is actually to take 10% minimum from the vendor and 10% to the patron as a service fee. So therefore, out of $100, that's $20. But if my operational cost was less than 85 cents to $1.20, my profit margin is exceptionally high. Therefore, the frictionless of resistance is there once again to be adoptable and very quickly. That's why Facebook is free.
You're taking 10% from both sides.
Affirmative.
Good, great stuff. Yeah, great stuff.
To vote, visit razorfire.co and select today's event. Enter your donations for the pitches you love and click the donate button to proceed to checkout. Review and confirm your donation once more by tapping donate. And finally, key in your payment info to cast your vote. Voting will be open for 7 days. And remember, there's a $5 minimum for your vote to count. Now, we'll have final remarks from our panel.
These pitches, I'll tell you, man, I thought they were really good. I was super impressed, and I loved it. And all the brothers were right on point with everything. I mean, you could tell that that Black Men Ventures did a good job of helping them get ready. And these are all companies that I would personally invest in because all the models are good. Every business model is one that you've seen operate and succeed at a multi-billion-dollar level. And so the last piece that we need is community support for the businesses, investors. I personally am ready to write a check. I'd write a check to almost every brother that was that was in here. All I need to know, what are the terms? What are you looking for? So maybe that's the next piece I'd add on there, because when you go to these big Y Combinator type startups, they're not talking about 15,000, 30,000, 50,000. They're talking about $500,000 or more, $1 million, $2 million, stuff like that, right? And it's going to take time to work up to those numbers, but I want to see these brothers get to that level, and I think that our community can get them there. And I'd like to definitely be one of the first ones on that front line to say, tell me who to write a check to, so I can be a part of this journey, and I will be in it with both feet. So I'd like to invest in a couple of these companies. I'm not even going to pick one to be better than the other, because they were all, every single person was on point. Nobody was sloppy or unprepared. Everybody was good. So that was my impression. I was super impressed. We had Harvard Business School up in this mug. Exactly. except better than Harvard. Go ahead, man.
Culture, because we got the culture. Dr. Boyce Watkins, it's been great being on a panel with you. What more can I say coming after you, man? Each one of these businesses showed up, man. They showed up. You can tell they were well versed. You can tell they really thought about their business. And ultimately, what I love about it, you can tell they were passionate. Like, that's the biggest key of all of this in entrepreneurship is, yeah, we need the funds, we need that, but are you passionate? Are you willing to put the time and energy behind it? And that's what I loved about each one of these brothers. And I voice what Dr. Boyce Watkins said. All of them deserve to be funded. So the next step is the community. It's very important that we have the support of community. We know what type of money we spend in outside of our communities, and we know what type of money we put inside of all these different industries. Let's support people that can, that look like us. Really, that's what it boils down to. That look like us, that got great ideas, and we have the opportunity to fund the next large startup or the large, tech company, food company. And it starts here with these conversations, man. So kudos to you guys. Congratulations to the team. Congratulations and thank you, Mr. Boyce Watkins. Again, it's a pleasure to even share the stage with you, sir. And I'm looking forward to seeing where these guys go, man. It's big.
Yeah, brother. The honor's all mine, man. This has been a blast. I was absolutely thrilled to see this level of Black excellence. I can't wait to see this initiative grow.
And lastly, final remarks from our founder, Alfred Duncan.
That was awesome. I'm so excited for the founders that pitched in today's competition. I want to thank everyone who took the time out to view this pitch competition. We really appreciate you. I want to give a huge shout out to the founders that participated in this, man. We are so excited and proud of you here at BMV. To see where you've come from to where you are now is just astonishing. And we just thank you for giving us the opportunity to support you in your entrepreneurship journey. Now, for those that have voted already, thank you so much for contributing to these founders. Now, if you haven't voted, it's no worry. The voting will be open for 7 days. You can still visit razorfire.co to cast your vote for any founder of your liking. You can please give that information to family and friends so that they can also go to razorfire.co and cast their vote. It's definitely necessary. It's definitely needed. You're a part of the community, and we thank you for support. Now, if you want to learn more about Black Men Ventures, if you want to pitch in a future competition, or even if you want to partner with us, then please visit blackmenventures.org below for more information. Once again, we thank you so much for your time. We thank you so much for your funding. We thank the founders for an amazing job and the champions for giving excellent feedback. Thank you so much. God bless and good night.